Okay.
Press.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about the chemistry of the essential amino acids.
I'm Ozzy.
I'm sure.
He's Angel and I'm
Okay. So first we're going to talk about the definition of what are amino acids. Then we're going to talk about the difference between essential versus non-essential amino acids. And then we're going to go into each of the 9 essential amino acids. So what are amino acids? They're molecules that chain together to form proteins. And proteins are called like the building blocks of life. So every cell in the human body contains proteins. And the basic structure of those proteins is a chain of multiple amino acid molecules. And since they're in every cell in our body, there are amino acids that take part in just about every chemical reaction in our body. So amino acids go through a condensation reaction to form peptide bonds, and each amino acid has a different pH, but nearly all of them are zwitterions, I think that's how you say it, which is a molecule with both positive and negative functional groups. And this structure allows amino acids to act as both an acid and a base in different reactions. So there's 2 types of amino acids, essential and non-essential. Essential amino acids are ones that our body can't produce by itself, so we have to get them from our food. And they're in the pink, that's the list of all of them. And in the blue is the non-essential amino acids, which are amino acids our body produces by itself, so we can get these in foods or our body can create them. And some of these like become conditional amino acids when our body is under severe stress, like when we're infants, when we're really sick, or when you're pregnant. So here are some videos just talking about amino acids and proteins.
Amino acids are molecules that make up proteins. Protein consumption is important because protein has many functions in the body, such as being used to make enzymes, hormones, building and maintain tissue, instruct transport proteins, which transport fats throughout the body, and make antibodies, which help neutralize some bacteria and viruses. There are 20 different standard amino acids that your body requires for healthy function. These amino acids are often classified as essential and non-essential amino acids. Non-essential amino acids are amino acids that our bodies can produce even if we don't get them from food we eat. There are 11 non-essential amino acids. Essential amino acids cannot be made, so they must come from foods we eat. There are 9 essential amino acids. So when we eat foods that contain protein, in essence, we're eating amino acids. However, not all protein contains all 20 of the standard amino acids. Protein is often classified as complete or incomplete protein. A complete protein is a protein source that contains a sufficient quantity of all 9 of the essential amino acids. An incomplete protein does not contain a sufficient quantity of all 9 of the essential amino acids. Complete protein foods include animal foods such as red meat, poultry, pork, and fish. Eggs and dairy products such as cow's milk, yogurt, and cheese. Plant foods such as soy products, black beans, kidney beans, pumpkin seeds, quinoa, and pistachio, just to name a few. You can also combine incomplete protein food to create a complete protein meal, or to get the essential amino acids throughout the day. And that is the basics, essential, non-essential amino acids, complete and incomplete protein.
Yeah. And here's another video. Yeah.
When we talk about amino acids, you will often hear the terms essential and non-essential used in exactly the same way that protein is an essential nutrient. That's because your body cannot synthesize certain amino acids, and those are the essential amino acids. So there are 21 amino acids needed by humans that can form proteins. They're called proteinogenic amino acids, meaning that they can form proteins. Of those, 9 are essential. So that means that, again, your body cannot synthesize these and you have to get these from your diet. Now, there are various rhymes and mnemonics that you can come up with to help you remember the names of these, but the one we put up there is any help in learning these little molecules proves truly valuable. make up your own ones if you want. You don't really recall this one particularly well. But the essential amino acids are arginine, histamine, isoleucine, leucine, tryptophan, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, and valine. Don't try and say those 10 times quickly because I think your mouth might spontaneously. Either way, learn them somehow. They are very useful to know about. When it comes to protein digestion, you eat steak, as depicted here, or any form of other protein. Proteolytic enzymes in your digestive tract will break that down into amino acids and oligopeptides. Oligopeptides basically mean much, much shorter chains of proteins. We're talking like 3, maybe 4 amino acids in length as opposed to a protein, which it can be many, many, many amino acids in length. It breaks it down into those individual amino acids and then really short chains. Those can then be transported through the intestinal wall. Within the intestinal wall as well, they are broken down potentially a little bit further into tripeptides and dipeptides, so chains that are only 2 or 3 amino acids long. Those are then transported into your bloodstream and can be taken to wherever they are needed. When it comes to the wherever they are needed bit, we need to talk about the amino acid pool. In your bloodstream, there is always a certain pool of amino acids that are basically, they can be used for emergency stuffs. If your body ever needs amino acids and it doesn't have any protein available, it will take them out of the amino acid pool. From the amino acid pool, amino acids can be used for muscle synthesis, for muscle protein breakdown. They can be used in a process called transamination. We'll get to that in just a sec. They can synthesize other nitrogen-containing compounds, things like your skin, your nails, your hair, other structural components, or they can be excreted if your body doesn't need them. When we talk about amino acids,
All right, so the first amino acid we'll talk about is isoleucine. It's one of 3 of the BCAAs. But first we'll talk about what BCAAs are. So BCAA stands for branched chain amino acids. And like I said, isoleucine is one of 3, and the 3 are leucine, isoleucine, and valine. And they're called branched chain because of their molecular structure, which consists of a central carbon atom that's bonded to 3 or more carbon atoms. So it creates a chain. More specifically, each BCAA consists of a central carbon atom, as I said, bonded to a hydrogen atom, an amino group, which is NH2, a carboxyl group, COOH, and a unique side chain. And these unique side chains differ between the 3 BCAAs, and those side chains are what gives each BCAA a specific property and function inside of the body. And BCAAs are vital in protein synthesis, energy production, and muscle maintenance. And chemistry of BCAAs has helped us understand more about them and create like diets revolving around them, and also just study more about the effects that they have on the body. So first things first, with isoleucine, we can see the formula is C6H13NO2. It has a molar mass of 131.17 grams per mole. Its density is 1.207 grams per cubic centimeters at 20 degrees Celsius. Its boiling point is 438.4 degrees Fahrenheit, and its melting point is 285.5 degrees Celsius. It's a nonpolar, uncharged branched chain aliphatic amino acid. It's a very important amino acid. It plays a big role in the immune function and physiological functions of the whole body, such as growth, immunity, as I just said, protein metabolism, fatty acid metabolism, glucose transportation. And in immunity, having isoleucine in your diet is important as it directly affects your defense or host defense peptides. Consuming isoleucine promotes expression of these defense peptides that can regulate host innate and adaptive immunity. And so host defensive peptides act as the frontline defense against harmful microorganisms in your body, such as bacteria, viruses, and fungi. And when it comes to blood sugar, isoleucine stimulates the insulin and the mTOR, glucose uptake in skeletal muscles, and it may contribute to plasma glucose lowering effects. And lastly, it inhibits the furin deaminase, which is an isoleucine specific enzyme. And those are some foods that are high in isoleucine.
Okay, so sorry. So next is histidine. It's an essential amino acid used in the biosynthesis of protein to grow and repair damaged tissues, making blood cells and help protect nerve cells. Histidine is the precursor for the synthesis of histamine, a biogenic amine involved in allergic responses, inflammation, gastric acid secretion, and neurotransmission. Histidine is one of the two amino acids required for the synthesis of carnosine, a dipeptide found in high concentrations in skeletal muscle and the brain, helping to regulate pH levels and reduce oxidative stress. So next, these are the signs of low levels of histidine, which are slow wound healing, weakened immune system, poor memory, and poor cognitive function. Next are signs of high levels of histidine, which are excessive protein intake. It may cause psychological issues, mood disorders, fatigue, headaches, and dizziness. So lastly, we have supplements and treatments. You can take histidine through single amino acids or a combination of amino acids, such as multivitamins, protein, and food supplements. And lastly, you can use them for medical use, which includes treatment for chloral infection, eczema, kidney failure, and metabolic syndrome. The next essential amino acid is leucine, which is one of the three essential branch chain amino acids used by skeletal muscles to give energy during exercise. So like said in the video, leucine can be consumed in meat, poultry, fish, eggs, and milk. Leucine can improve muscle mass, recovery, inflammation. It can stimulate insulin secretion, and it can lower blood glucose. And leucine increases protein synthesis through activation of the mammalian target of rapamycin, which is basically the response to growth factors, nutrients, mitogens, and hormones. Next, leucine can promote energy metabolism, such as glucose uptake, mitochondrial biogenesis, and fatty acid oxidation. Then the next essential amino acid is lysine, which is an essential amino acid that is one of the building blocks of protein and is necessary for human health. Lysine helps prevent cold sores, canker sores, diabetes, and many more conditions. It can also help reduce anxiety by blocking stress response receptors. It can improve calcium absorption and retention, and it can promote wound healing by helping create more collagen.
All right. Next one is methionine. We can see it has the formula C5H11NO2S, has a molar mass of 149.21 grams per mole, a density of 1.340 grams per cubic centimeters. Its melting point is 573.8 degrees Fahrenheit, and its boiling point is 741.03 degrees Fahrenheit. It is a nonpolar white crystalline powder, and it's a unique sulfur-containing amino acid, which is used to build proteins and produce many molecules in the body, such as the antioxidant glutathione, and the molecule SAM, which is used to modify, or SAM, which is used to modify DNA and other molecules in the body. Methionine has a central carbon atom, an amino group, a carboxyl group, and a side chain, and it's thought to help protect from damage caused by ionizing radiation on the body and the cells. The role of methionine on metabolism, oxidative stress, and disease. So methionine is a precursor of succinyl, homocysteine, cysteine, creatine, and carnitine. It intervenes in lipid metabolism, activation of endogenous antioxidant enzymes such as methionine sulfoxide reductase A, and the biosynthesis of glutathione to counteract oxidative stress. And an interesting fact is that a risk of consuming too much methionine is depression. It can elevate your homocysteine levels and cause depression. So yeah, here's some more foods that have methionine in it, that are high in it.
Okay, this one, phenylalanine thing. So the molar mass is 190.20 grams per mole. As you can see, density is 1.2 grams per centimeter cubed. And also it has its melting point over there. And this is the kind of diagram of what it looks like written out. It's based of 9 carbons, 11 oxygens, and 11 hydrogens and 2 oxygens. All right, so what is it? It is a non-polar amino acid. It's also a building block found in protein, and humans cannot self-synthesize any of the 9 essential as mentioned prior. So therefore, we need to consume them. I'm not going to say the name again, but it is converted into tyrosine, which can lead to the production of dopamine and norepinephrine. It's also vital in producing other important amino acids, and its shape is a white crystal or powder appearance, not cocaine, but Scarface is there. PKU is a genetic condition. What that is when people can't consume this amino acid fully because it produces about intellectual disability, brain damages, seizures, skin problems, etc. Meaning you can lose pigment in your skin, and also you have it early on as a child, you should be concerned, but later on as an adult, you don't have to really weigh out the foods for that. So there's 2 types. There's the L form and then there's the D form. It's known as the L form, and it's also incorporated into proteins. And the D form is known to behave as a pain reliever, the more you know. So the health benefits of this are the neurological. It helps signal travel between brain cells and nerve cells, so it keeps you going. Maintain an awake and or alert state, which is essential. Also improving your memory so you don't forget things. It's good in reducing hunger pains. Just eat. Reason to believe that the L form can treat depression. It's groundbreaking. Also skin, it can improve your improve vitiligo, which is a condition when the skin becomes depigmented, and it produces melanin. And here we have a picture of a dog sunbathing because nature is healing, just to add on to all this. Next slide, please. Where can you find this? You can find this in meat, eggs, fish, soy products, cheese, gelatin, wheat, oat, rice, quinoa, lentils, and nuts. Any of those things. So you don't really have to deviate from your diet. Threonine, also another essential amino acid, as mentioned before, is comprised of 4 carbons, 9 hydrogens, 1 nitrogen, sorry, and 3 oxygen. Thank you. All right, what is it? It is a polar amino acid. Also maintains proper protein balance in the body. It's imperative in the synthesis of glycine and serine. Also vital in producing other important amino acids, as mentioned before in the previous slide. It's a colorless colorless crystal appearance. And the health benefits are that it helps digestive health, boosts the immune system, improves muscle contractions, supports muscle and bone strength. It's possible to alleviate anxiety and some mild depression, and it also accelerates wound healing, however, not like Wolverine, though. In the deficiency of not having it, you will find yourself having confusion, increased liver fat, digestive problems, irritability, and emotional agitation, and poor nutrient absorption. Where is it found? It's also found in everything pretty much mentioned in the past. Milk, eggs, gelatin, poultry, lentils, carrots, edamame, kidney beans, salmon, pumpkin seeds, and bananas.
Okay, so the next amino acid is tryptophan, which has a formula of C11H12N2O2. It is nonpolar and has a solid, slightly yellowish white color. It is the largest amino acid, which also makes it the most complex biosynthesis pathway, which is like the pathway that our body like processes it. And it requires the most energy to synthesize. This also makes it the least abundant amino acid out of all of them. And it consists of a delta carbonic acid group, a delta amino group, and a side chain. And the side chain contains 2 aromatic rings and NH group, which you can see it like the bigger, more expanded Lewis structure right there. So it is involved in the production and maintenance of the body's proteins, muscles, and enzymes and neurotransmitters. It's responsible for forming melatonin, which regulates our sleep, and serotonin, which regulates appetite, sleep, mood, and pain. It is also used by the liver to form vitamin B3, which is used for energy metabolism and DNA production. A fun fact kind of about tryptophan is if you've ever heard that turkey makes you sleepy, it's because turkey has a really high concentration of tryptophan. However, this is actually a myth. Turkey doesn't make you sleepy because tryptophan is the last amino acid that your body processes. Because your body has to process all 20 of them, right? And tryptophan is the last one to be processed. And so it is actually a myth that turkey makes you sleepy because it doesn't get processed immediately. And the last essential amino acid out of all 9 is valine. So it is another one of the 3 branched chain amino acids, which both Ozzy and Ethan talked about. So of the 3 BCAAs, valine is the least productive at building muscle mass, but it's still really important in, creating muscle mass. It is a nonpolar white crystalline powder, which is soluble in water and consists of a central carbon atom with a carboxylic acid, a amino group, and a hydrogen atom, and side chain group of 2 CH3 molecules. It promotes muscle growth and tissue repair. It maintains a functioning nervous system and immune system. It is not broken down by the liver, which a lot of amino acids are broken down by the liver, but it is consumed directly by your muscles. And it is the most useful for like bodybuilders and long distance athletes and just athletes in general, because it plays a key role in muscle repair and metabolism of muscle tissue, and it will increase your endurance. So generally it just helps maintain necessary nitrogen levels in your body as well. And something interesting about it is if you're super into the gym and you use pre-workout is made of, or a lot of pre-workouts are made of the 3 branched chain amino acids, including valine. And yeah, so these are our resources. Thank you.
Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff.
Very good. Very good. Very well done. Is here.
Thank you.
Oh, good.